next thing I know, we made this settlement and all this stuff, and I've been talking to him probably about 2 years about the projects that I was doing. So I gave him a scenario about him and our daughter, because my daughter always says that she want to help her dad get his life together, which she's the child. She shouldn't be trying to help this grown man. This grown man should be there for her. But she wants to help him change his life. So the next thing I know, I find out, because I know people that he don't know I find out that the same concept that I discussed with him, he flew his daughter that lives here to New Jersey and her mom, and they're doing the show this season. I think it's going to be the way that it's supposed to work is she's going to be living with him, which she doesn't. She lives here. But the way that the show is playing it out is that she's supposed to be living with him, and she's trying to help him change his ways. The same thing that he and I spoke of or whatever. So,
was this initially your idea to do that, or was it a plan that you guys came up with together?
It actually wasn't an idea. This is what my daughter was saying. I want to help him get his life together, and we were talking about, well, if he filmed with me on the show that I was working on, what would his storyline be? And I told him, I said, well, all Christian always say is she want to help you get your life together and all this type of stuff. I said, so for one, you guys are gonna have to sit down and have your one-on-one. And so I'm telling him what's gonna happen. Like it wouldn't be no scripted stuff because they've only seen each other once. So I kind of told him the storyline idea, and he took it and he ran with it. So I guess, pretty much he took something from his daughter overall, and then it was my, about what his storyline would be.
Are you and your daughter willing to do a DNA test if he's willing to do one?
We already did one.
Oh, you did one?
Yeah, you weren't listening to me. I told you that when I initially filed for a DNA test, I didn't file for child support because he was out doing those interviews saying that he hadn't had a DNA test. He don't know if she's his, and that hurt my daughter because I have text messages when he was texting her saying that he knows that, she's his and all that type of stuff. So to nip that in the bud, I went down and I filed to do a DNA test. He wouldn't even show up for it because he knows that she's his. So when he came to Memphis, he got arrested to do the DNA test. It wasn't for child support. It was simply to establish parentage. So he kept playing those games, and that's how he got that large order for the $3,000 a week.
Okay, so he got the order, but he's not actually paying that much.
Okay, I can't tell you everything about that order, but I can tell you that Richard was not showing up to court, and they had to do something about his income. So here they gathered the evidence as proof of income. They sent it to where he lives. And when because I got the stuff, I got all the paperwork. If I'm going to talk about something, I'm going to have paperwork and proof. I got the letter in the mail. It said my child support is $2,000 a week with $1,000 in arrears. So that's $3,000 a week. He never, not once, made a payment, never paid on time, never. I got a couple of $200 checks. And I remember for her birthday, they said her birthday's in November, Christmas is in December. He was supposed to send a certain amount in November and a certain amount in December. So what he did was, in December they sent one amount that just for one, and it had Merry Christmas and Happy Birthday on it, and it was an excuse as to why they sent it late. I'm like, her birthday is on the same day every year, so how could you not send this stuff when you were supposed to? It's not for me, it's for her, and it's hurting her. So from that point, some drama got stirred about me not calling them and letting them know that I got a little $400 check that was sent FedEx with a tracking number, and every time they've sent the little small checks before, I've never called, but it's like his mom sent the check, and it was like she told him that I didn't let her know that I got it and stuff, and I don't know why they made a big deal out of this one little check. So I told her, I said, well, he's already on child support. Just stop sending me anything. Don't send me nothing else. I'll just take it through the courts. So the next time I talked to Richard called himself going off on me, talking about I didn't call and tell him thank you about this $400. I was like, you act like I owe you. You doing this for your child. I'm not going to tell you thank you for some stuff you should be doing for her anyway. So that's when I made the phone call to enforce the child support. That's when the warrant got out on him, and that's when he was picked up for that large amount. But it was not just for me. It was another child that he had a warrant out for too that he owed. So he had to pay not only me but her to get out of jail. That first one, that wherever that burger place, that was not me at all. That was a completely different mother that he hadn't paid in years. That warrant was like probably 4 years old. He just been getting away with it. So when I put my foot down after his mama tried to talk about that little check, and I wasn't even trying to pressure that child support, I put my foot down and I started to enforce it. So that's when he made that payment. He's never made a regular payment until recently, and it's not $3,000. It's way, 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 way smaller. And I did that, and I made that sacrifice for my daughter because he was doing too much and messing her up mentally. She went through depression. She's still going through depression. She was in the hospital for 8 days, and I had to make a lot of sacrifices to try to bring her back around. She didn't even start school till October because of everything that she went through. All she wants is love from her dad, but he'll call her, talk. I don't involve a child in what goes on between me and him, even if it's on the internet. She don't watch the show. She's not on blogs or nothing like that, so she don't know what's going on. He would make it his business to call this child and talk about, do you know what your mama did? Or this and that, and then he threatened me through her. If you tell anybody what's going on with this and that, it's going to be a problem. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And he just go too far. And he thinks he's invincible because he's on a show and he knows people and he's doing what he's doing. But Richard is not anything like you see. He tried to be a good person, but he's not. Something's going to have to happen to Richard in order for him to change his life. Because right now, he's just a get over, no good. I don't even know what to say because everything that I want to say is not very nice. So.
Right. Well, I thank you for answering those questions about Rich because, there were a lot of unanswered questions, but I hope you gave some clarity to the fans and the listeners, and you let these people know, a lot more about the situation. But I wanted to move on from him and talk more about you now for the second half of the interview. And the first question I had to ask you was, is it true you were cast to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta?
No. I was not cast to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Okay,
so that's just a fictional internet rumor, because that's what people were saying, that you were actually supposed to be one of the cast members. This was, I guess, a couple of seasons ago. Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah. No, I mean that kind of wouldn't have made a lot of sense, because if I'm his, quote unquote baby mama, it would be probably better if I was on the show with him, because what would be my storyline unless they were just separating us and it would just be me by myself doing everything that I'm doing. But no.
Would you ever do a reality TV show?
I'm filming right now.
Oh, you're doing one right now. Is that the Miss Infamous show?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us about that?
Okay, Miss Infamous is about, I'm trying to see what all I can say. a few women that have had not so good past, some things that been happening in their past, and they're trying to clean their lives up and get on the right path to, just leave all the bad stuff behind, basically. You have me, someone named Alexandria McWeave, Willa Michelle, Shara Wright, which is an NBA player's ex-wife. He was found murdered, and she was the last person to see him. So she had to go through a lot of drama because of that. And then you have me, who, has the baby by Richard, but I was also married to someone 16 years younger than me, who had a national headline story when he did some stuff that he wasn't supposed to do, and then he tried to frame me for it, but my name was cleared, of course, and we're just trying to basically clean up our images and move forward with our lives. So that's pretty much what it's about. There's a few other cast members, but those are the main cast members that I can think of right now.
Okay, and this is through your production company, or is it through another company?
Yeah, it's through my production company, but I have producers and everything that's working on my behalf. So that's one I'm not working a lot behind the scenes on.
Will the show air on television, or is it?
Yeah, I'm actually in the process right now of doing a sizzle to give it to PR so that they could send it somewhere in LA to shop it. So I have a certain television station in mind that I want to go with. So we're in the process of trying to get that done. So I will see, I guess. Yeah, but I'm producing another television show, but it's involving. It's called Glitzy Girls. It has a feel of like, what is it? Bring It, except for the little girls are models. And the parents they're really good parents, but it's so much drama. And I'm working behind the scenes on that one. And we're in the process of talking to a network about that one. And I've written a scripted series that I'm in the process of shooting a pilot for, so I can try to sell that one. So I'm kind of in the early stages of everything. I think everything will be okay and everything will get picked up because I have some very interesting things going on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to definitely have to check that Miss Infamous out. Do you know when it should possibly air or...
Well, like I said, we're doing the sizzle reel right now, so I don't know how they're going to do it, if they're going to release it so people can see it, or if they're going to just shop it straight to the network. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, they're working on my behalf, but I'm kind of letting them make all the important decisions because that's not all I'm doing. The production company is not all I'm doing. So I kind of have to have other people do certain things on my behalf so I can take care of other things. Like my daughter, for instance, who's about to do her music. We tried to start with it. I tried to test it. But right after she did her first video, which she didn't like that song. Well, she likes the song, but she wanted to redo it, so I stopped the marketing and promotion for it. She ended up going in the hospital. She started going through depression, so we had to draw back. Now it was like in May or June. And now we're about to...
Is that the No Drama Tonight song?
Yeah. She did that one, and she liked it at first, but she's not a rapper. So it started off as a song, and 4 studios later, it ended up being a rap.